Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the next set of picks and bans. This is going to be quarterfinals versus Losing Road and Dexterity. Mama Target is apparently spewing lies and filthy deterrents into my ear. This is going to be quarterfinals. Losing Road versus Dexterity. Immediate Sun Wukong ban. Considering Bluestone, we're going to be seeing that a lot here, probably. At least I would assume. Greg.
Yeah, I mean, obviously EU not seeming to favour the hell. We've seen it get through the drafting stage a number of times today, not so much focus. It's also the problem with it being banned out so regularly and not being a part of the meta up until this patch is that no one's known how to play it. No one's needed to know how to play it. No one knows the specific spikes. No one knows a specific best build for hell at this point in time. It's still something that's being largely played around with. And when it's banned so often in ranked games and whatnot, you resort to casual queues, which means you generally get online a lot quicker, especially for the higher level players and whatnot. They generally come up against a lower level of opponent than they might find in the rank. Excuse me, just naturally due to the queue types. And there's no specific matchup or situation to try and deal with the hell. So I'm seeing a lot less play of it, and that's what I'm putting it down to, is just the inexperience on the god thus far.
Yeah. And looks like one of the top picks and bans right now is going to be let through. The Ao Kwong is going to be set foot on the field today by Dexterity Gaming alongside Bologna, but Losing Road going with the Bastet Sylvanas pickup. I like the fact we're seeing more Bastet play recently. That is actually kind of cool to see.
I really like it as well. I'm a big fan of it. Losing Road are also a team that has been around for a while. The name constantly keeps resurfacing within Challenger Cups. I think they actually made last split. They scraped in, even though they didn't play the last couple of weeks. They actually scraped into the top 8 teams and didn't have a roster together or enough players together to make it into the top 8 playoffs last split. So that was an interesting scenario. We're seeing actually Hell come through in the second round of bans. Excuse me. So this is different priorities for you. Inexperience, obviously, it could be there, part of it. But I really want to see a little bit more of the Giannis ban. I think it's just too powerful to let through. Agni obviously hasn't been picked up yet. I would expect an Isis counter pick towards the mid lane. A lot of pressure. Able to utilize that ultimate so successfully. But also the Ao Kwong being picked up. It's actually featured quite heavily, a lot more heavily on the ban list this time around than we did see in NA yesterday. And again, I think it's just that different sort of playstyle that we've seen from EU compared to NA. But the EU Challenger Cup games aren't those farm-heavy style of games you get in the SPL. They're more your brawly sort of games, a lot more so than NA.
As we've seen today, one game just immediately ready, set, go, and we've got 24 kills before 15 minutes. I believe that was 2 games ago, actually. Yeah, a lot of the time, those kind of games don't really happen here. In Challenger, less farmy, that is. You've got that more brawly style because it's Challengers, you know the fact that because it is pickups, essentially, open brackets, teams may not have the best communication or enough gel time compared to teams in the SPL to allow them to do that kind of thing. And that kind of thing is really going to be leveraged here because Losing Road is going to be going for the Kali, so communication is key because Kali, of course, has the target mechanic. If Kali doesn't get their target, she's not going to be happy, as most of you have probably seen in ranked queue when a Kali doesn't get theirs.
Importantly, it's a Kali and a Bastet. Be interesting to know. I think the Bastet has been picked up here to target towards, obviously, the Ao Kwong, because it was immediately picked up straight after the Ao Kwong. They can lane it if they want.
Maybe. We did see Kali solo.
Is this the Hades mid lane? This is a Hades mid lane. I feel, yeah, this is a Hades mid lane.
This is a Hades mid lane. Well, nice to know that MLC Smurf has a... Well, MLC Smurf. MLC Stealth has a Smurf account, apparently. So yeah, Hades.
Playing in the Challenger Cup.
I know, right? So, we have the Hades mid, probably. I don't think we're going to be seeing anything wacky like Neath mid, although... The option is there, although because we have a Geb, that would be extremely unlikely. There is, of course, the potential for Ao Kwong mid, Hades jungle. But I
No.
highly doubt we're going to see that because Giannis is just going to
theory crafting. Stop theory crafting. You're taking this
Okay.
away. Alright, so the reason that this is probably going to be Hades mid lane is because look at the level 2 fight that they actually have over the Harpies. They can fight very, very successfully. And the reason that Hades is also here as well is it's kind of like saying, well, we're going to run our Kwong in the jungle because that Bastet is probably going to be in the jungle, and it gives us a little bit of safety towards him. It also gives us a very brawl-heavy comp, so they can actually be very, very tanky, get in the face of their opposition, they're going to be getting close, and it locks people down and brings them into that really nice tight circle for a Geb ultimate to come down. It's a lovely combo, and it also works very, very well when you get a very tanky comp like this and a very escape-heavy comp, because Neath, strong against Kali, Bologna, strong against Kali, and Alkwong, strong against Kali. Why are they strong against Kali? Because they just brawl really, really well. They're so mobile, and they stick to a target, so Kali is going to get chased out of fights a lot more than she's going to be able to initiate them.
Yeah. Now that you bring that up, that is definitely a good point, considering the early game of Kali isn't the best. I mean, Bastet can make up for it. It depends where they put them. We can see Kali solo. We saw that in the SPL. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. And then, of course, you've got the Bastet, who potentially could lane as well, because of the way the Razor Whip was reworked back in when she was originally reworked, the God Bastet herself. You've occasionally seen her lane, but it's not really been too popular this split, or even this season, to be exact.
It's specific lane counter target to Alkwong, which is in this game. So it is one of the possible potential scenarios that can come forth.
Yeah. But we should probably let the anti-ghosting timer count down. 1 minute left on that, and then we'll see where people get distributed. So yes, we'll be right back shortly. Don't go anywhere. Enjoy the music.
Righto, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your Fall EU Challengers Cup. Week number 1, forget the title, it's totally wrong, we still haven't got it changed, but have a look at the itemization that is actually coming through here from the side of Dexterity Gaming.
So yes, our questions have been answered. It looks like it's going to be the Ao Kwong solo, Bologna jungle, Hades mid, Geb and Neath duo lane. And with Losing Road, they're going to go with a bit more of a traditional comp. It's going to be the Kali solo. Well, that's not really traditional, but the Kali a bit more one that makes sense. They're going to go with the Kali solo, then the Bastet jungle. So, looking at how things are right now, we do see the early Transcendence pick up Caspain looking like he wants to go with Branching Bowler, spam? Well, not really spam, excessive use.
Hang on.
What?
Look at where Hades is. This is an Alkwong mid lane.
What? 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 Okay, never mind. I am severely wrong. I sincerely apologize.
Okay, so this is putting pressure onto Kali. This is the Hades versus Kali matchup. That's what they wanted.
Oh. The viewers can't see it, but the light bulb just came on my head. I see what they're doing now.
Hold still, please.
I mean, Alcorn's gonna have a bit of issue. Yes, he can do the Wildstorm Dragon Call combo to clear, but eventually, Farik is gonna be able to, in theory, just style all over him, if he's careful.
The problem is that Janus actually doesn't clear all that potently early game. The real problem for this composition comes in that Just Jack is significantly viable to constant Bastet ganks, but he's got Water Illusion. He will be keeping Water Illusion constantly up, and then backing off and not going anywhere near the creep wave until it's back up again.
True. He's going to be able to farm relatively safely as long as he doesn't get greedy. He has the Below in the jungle to try and go for cheeky ganks, and with the Execute on top of that. Execute is probably one of the only things that can shut down someone like a Giannis who can escape, like, whoop, effectively. We saw that last game with a Giannis being able to escape from a 4-man rotation with the magic pixel of health left. So, Execute at 25% health might just be success they need to take out a Giannis mid lane.
It's also, I really like the Alkwong, so long as he can get farm and get some items going against the Kali, she can't ult. If he ults her, she can't ult.
True. I also want to just mention that over in the solo here, Urenity is taking a lot of poke from the minions because you don't really have too much clear. Urenity has that Bluestone Pendant for the extra damage off of the Lash, but at the same time, the Lash isn't going to really clear the wave until at least, like, level 3. If not higher. You're gonna get the Archer minions down close as we're seeing here. but it's not going to be enough, so a couple extra attacks are required. If non-numbers gets cheeky and does the wave heal using the Soul Devour combination, that could result in a bit too much poke going on the Kali. But looks like he's actually getting extremely low here over in the solo lane. This is extremely surprising. And over in the duo here, though, Frisian in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but look at the rotation coming through from the mid lane. It's the dropship. It's come all the way over towards the left-hand side of the map. How Kwong's on the back side of this, looking for any early potential that he can get, but he's got no ultimate compared to Yana.
This entire match is just weird. Kwong mid, Kali solo, both of them are doing well in their lanes. Hades being pushed to tower. I'm gonna be honest, this is new for me. I am actually very excited. So,
well, have a look at Farrakrick. He's actually doing a nice amount of damage at this point in time. Bologna's taken a lot of damage here. But the first person to base, I think, is actually going to be the Kali? No, it was actually Hades to base first out of the solo lane. And that's worrying. It also means that he wanted to get the items online to make sure that he could keep the bully up on towards her because she's being pushed back off a lot of minions. But he's actually behind now on gold because she got the extra lane shot.
So, having that nice little bit of poke extra is definitely a nice thing to have. The mid-harpies are going to be picked up pretty quickly, I imagine. They're going to be up in a few seconds here. It looks like losing Road was a little bit too early. So, they're going to have to wait, and this is going to allow Just Jack and Red 39 to regroup around and take the right ones. Although, look at the pincer maneuver here. Ynera team might be trapped if the rotation fully actually clamps down, but looks like it's not going to happen. She's just going to kind of hop her way over to her own lane, or maybe even do blue buff.
Yeah, interesting to note the rotations coming around to this map at this point in time. Kwong is a slower rotator than Giannis. He also struggles to clear now against the Giannis, but his fight at these mid-camps, now that, I mean, if Bastet hops in to try and get the camp going, then he just hops straight in on her, and he can actually spit out a really, really nice amount of damage. This is super weird, because it's really, really tough to analyze this sort of stuff at this pace of the game as well, and he's rushing in towards Boots. I'm going to assume that's going to be a Bancroft's talent early, which means he expects to get low with a smaller HP pool as well. He loses a percentage of his health faster, which means that he actually procs that up a lot quicker, and with less abilities hitting him, he'll get a lot more benefit out of it.
Yeah. They're going to be able to get that online faster because of the way it works, but at the same time, you want to be a little wary of going for that Bancroft's, like, I wouldn't really say suicide bomber, but extremely dangerous style. Because, while yes, you can just sit there and ignore the stats, it can be helpful to optimize your damage by maybe taking a little bit poke that you wouldn't usually take, but that can sometimes backfire on you. So, you've got to be a little wary, and now he's going to be going for the Golden Sash, so he's going to go for a bit more of a safer start. Most likely, he's going to be going for the Warlocks. I doubt he's going to go for a gem unless he fancies getting extremely greedy. That wouldn't work against Kali because of the slow medium. But over in the mid lane here...
Oh, Eagles rally going to come down. A lot of damage was dumped, looking to try and find the Bastet. Lives with a sliver of health. How did she even get out of there? That's... What was that? That was an insanely low amount of health. That was less than 30.
Kawaii anime nonsense, calling it now. Just... Oh, but over at the Fire Giant, though, a couple of cheeky slashes. But yeah, back to the matter at hand. How did the Bastet live?
Hold still, please.
That's the only thing I can sort of think of is... Just Jack mistimed execute?
I mean, he did. He obviously mistimed the execute. But he was relying on a little bit more of the damage as well. It was a really nice fight coming through from them, though. They grouped, they were looking for the Bastet, and she'd come forward a little bit of a way and was looking for a base at that period in time, and they're just able to jump all over her, so a nice amount of pressure. And she's picked up a Bluestone as well. Oh god, Bluestone meta, what? Double starter items.
Yeah, it's the return of double starter items, and I wouldn't say it's glorious, but it's definitely hilarious for the players, because they can just vomit damage onto people early. And
okay, something else that this Kwong actually does really, really well is because of his high base attack speed, he actually really, really helps out on towards an early gold fury rush down as well.
Oh, hello. Left side is going to be grabbed successfully here by losing Road, but the dexterity is going to rotate over. Nice cataclysm into the below the stump, but there's the Ripper Terror knock-up to try and delay any damage. Godlash taking a good bit of, well, death now, actually. Farid picking up the kill there. Aztec going to be forced to strip away, Hetrix forced to relocate. Buzzron going to look for the pole and doesn't find it. Unerity tries to go for them as well, but unfortunately Ao Kwong is his target, but he won't get it because Bastet says, "You've got to be kidding me, I want that, I'm going to take it."
And take it successfully. Anyway, Unarity's actually going to be poked out. So the important part there is that losing Road are actually starting to get a couple of harpies and get a little bit online here. We're going to jump back in. Unarity just doesn't want to debate. That's the target.
He has distraction, but at the same time, it's an Ao Kwong. I mean, it's not the easiest thing in the world to try and grab quickly because he has the ability to dash away. He can slow you down using the ranged attack on the Dragon Call. So he's going to be able to be very evasive. And Unarity, although actually Unarity is building the Incense second in his ability tally, so he's got that extra power. So in theory he could make it work, but in the end, unfortunately, he wasn't able to actually capitalize on it.
Unlucky. Very close from him, though. Coming through now is the Warlock's Dash, obviously, on towards the Hades. He wants to... What this does, why does Warlock's Dash work so darn well with the Hades? Health is the Guardian. He has naturally a lot of it. Just gives him a nice amount of...
Wow. Hello, Farid. He was thinking of maybe trying to go for it, but no, he's being zoned out here by the Ao Kwong. And now Ao Kwong gonna kind of just stand there for a minute and then leave. But that Gold Fury is going to go the way of dexterity. And losing Road, if we pull up the graphs here, just lost their golden XP lead.
Yeah, it's just got eaten away into next to nothing. But remember what I was saying about Ao Kwong doing the Gold Fury early really, really well? Yeah, he just did it really, really well. Neath can take it so successfully. This is what this comp's actually really, really well built to do. Neath, Bologna and Ao Kwong do it fantastically. Shields from Godlash can take it up. And the Neath heal, that's the important part, right? Is that she heals. It's not a lifesteal, it's a heal. When she targets a weave or she targets a unit with it. So their ability to tank up and sustain through in a very early Gold Fury and do it quickly is significantly high. Works out for them.
Yeah, that's a distinction to make. Oh, the only thing that can actually sort of shut that idea down is when you eventually go up against the big daddy of them all, the Fire Giant, because you've got that extra attack he does that gives you a debuff which lowers any kind of healing, regeneration, or lifesteal by 25. That can be a bit harder to do, but against the Gold Fury early game with that kind of team comp with a couple of heals, not lifesteal, you could get it in fairly safe hands.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just the fact that they have an attack speed boost on two of their... or just high attack speeds on two of their characters, plus the attack speed boost from the Scourge. Really, really nice. The Bludgeon actually does a nice amount of whack damage on towards the Gold Fury. It has that solid sounding sound as well. It's just a nice feel when you whack something with the hammer as Bologna.
Yeah.
The shield from Geb as well. Like, if somebody's starting to get low, somebody can cycle in and tank the Gold Fury so that Lit doesn't do all the tanking as well, then cycle out when the shield drops off, or they've taken just a few hits after the shield as well. So it's just a perfect setup for the team. I don't know, we've gone on about it a little bit, but it is. It's a really, really smart setup. It's a really good draft and awareness in the draft as well.
Yeah. Moving over to the actual itemization here for a moment, we do see that the Transcendence is almost fully stacked on Kespin. He's going to be able to do a nice bit of chunk. Eventually, the item, I imagine, is going to get sold, because you can do more damage with crit than you can with the Transcendence late game. Like I said before, it's a mana item, not a damage item. Shout out to Crit for that knowledge. But at the same time, he hasn't really got any attack speed online apart from the boots. And at the same time, we also see that Lit does have a Bluestone, plus getting boots, plus is able to reduce his attack speed. In the mid lane here, though, right, I think we might see a dead Sylvanas.
Sylvanas not quite dead yet, but it's going to be the dive back on towards Ao Kwong. No, it's Bologna that was really, really low. She's going to live through this one, but only barely. The Hades ultimate doing a really nice amount of disengage for these teams as well. And here we go. Look at the focus on towards Carly now. She might get dived up.
Uh-oh. Godlash. He popped the Cataclysm, but he's going to get punished for it by Unarity. Lit will pick up Estrix. But Reek, on the other hand, is not able to clip just Jack with the Unstable Vortex. Unfortunately, if he did, that would have been a chunk of damage. And with that, despite getting a stalemate for a little bit, Godlash did pop the Cataclysm, so he can't go back in. They may look for an execute, possibly off Just Jack. Oh, the pull! He doesn't find the execute, but he will get some help from his teammates. But he still has the execute. He could try and do something, but Lit is charging up the Whirlweaver in case something goes awry.
Yeah, they're looking for it, looking for a little bit more. Just looking at pressure now on towards this tower. They might get first tower of the game here in this middle lane right here, right now. Nope, gonna be forced away from it. But a nice bit of poke, not even a bit of poke on towards it. They lost out a fair bit there. But the Gold Fury is coming up shortly in 1 minute. Excuse me, exactly. They know they need to be back and they need to be prepped for it because it's a large part of the reason that they're excuse me, in this game at this point in time.
You're choking about as hard as I am right now at casting. But yes. Moving over to... Hang on, I just noticed something. Godlash is gone. Breastplate. Hello, that's odd. Why isn't he going Sovereignty or Heartward?
Cooldown reduction on Geb's not a bad item, but they've got a very tanky composition. He himself just wanted to go very, very tanky. Get the cooldown reduction on, get the shield, cycle through the shield a couple of times, make sure that Carly doesn't get the reset onto one specific target, right? Is that health bar reset? Whoever she finds out, whoever she kills off, that's a huge problem for them. Killing that off? Yeah, I mean, it is risky for the itemization towards the team, and it's going to be a long time before they have that sort of protections online, but they feel safe at this point in time and not needing to do that. Will it pay off? Well, we'll find out.
I mean, they have the literal shield coming from the gear rank, and I mean, that would be nice, but just, I mean, call me old guard, but I just can't go without my Sovereignty Hotwad start. It just feels wrong. I don't like it. It feels naked. I mean, if it works for him, great, but it just doesn't feel right. Something may go awry where he doesn't have the shield online. Those extra protections may save a teammate in a fight, potentially.
Well, actually, have a look at the Bastet. She's looking for that engaged on towards the mid lane, on to the Aokwong, spotting out on towards the left-hand side of things as well. Shibalonke and obviously Sylvanas looking for the roams and the gank potential. Gold Fury's up. They're going to look for a fight.
Maybe. Their Cali isn't around to help. It's only a 4-man, and Dexterity have all of their main troops over the left side. Solo on solo actions happening at their respective lane right now, so you can't really expect them to rotate just yet, although they are going to be looking for a blue buff. Unerity in the position to potentially steal, although she is sat firmly on a ward. That wacky waving purple arm tooth man, he's been popping up all over today. I like seeing wacky waving purple arm tooth man. He's actually probably my favorite ward skin. What's your favorite?
The Gold Fury once again, they poke back in and out. Sorry to cut you off there again, good buddy. But Verbalocity, sorry, not Verbalocity, Unerosity! There's a couple of osities in this game today. Well, that one's not even an osity, it's a Unerity. I'm just not reading, Jesus!
I think being upside down in Australia is starting to get teammate, the blood's gone. Are you okay?
Yeah, look at the ultimate mid lane though, Just Jack, no. He just gets eliminated. Now it's going to be the focus on towards Red 39 as well. He's in trouble, gets the shield. That might be that cooldown reduction starting to tick in towards him. Hayes is in the middle of this, doing a lot of damage here. Cataclysm was good as well, but now look at the Bastet. She's going to come in and tick. Whoa, the Bologna looks to dive straight on towards and kills off Barracrick, but now the rest of the fight's going the other way.
Oh no. Unerity is so low, but Dexterity will not find the kill. Pops the destruction. That's going to be a guaranteed heal when that ends, but there's the shockwave. Still isn't enough. Unerity getting away by a shred of health. There's the magic pixel reappearing once again. That's just going to be a 1-for-1 trade right now in this engagement. And I doubt Dexterity is going to want to try anything fancy on the Gold Fury attempt that Losing Road's going to try for here. They know it's happening. They don't need the more courage. Oh, nice pull though.
Yeah, immediately straight into that shield. Make sure that Lit gets out. He guts the broken weave. Heal off, and that's the important part. Really starts to heal off that one, and then immediately turns around with the aid of his team. Just uses Hestrix as another number in his kill chart.
Yeah. Oh no! The snipe! Wow! That was a nice snipe there from the Yanis, and Unerity is going to be able to find the target. Instead, Robo Punch to the face.
But now look at Geb. Geb's in a lot of trouble. Might actually get out here. Rollout speed as soon as it starts to tick up, making him quite safe. Looking for the portal forward. Unstable Vortex as well. Not going to quite find that, and he will finally manage to get out of there.
Huh! And with all of that, Gold Fury has still not been taken.
Well, there you go.
I'm very surprised. This
You're not
all
the only
started over Gold Fury. I mean, you would have thought that would have been a pretty much guaranteed Gold Fury for the losing road. But there was the Neath pull. Neath, I think, got taken out that one, though I could be wrong on that one. Then Dexterity collapsed in, losing road collapsed back in, and still the Gold Fury lives.
It's kind of like it's bait at the moment. Come here, come fight over this, come do it. Yeah, alright, we'll start it. Oh god, no. And then it just turns...
My Ravens using eyeballs and entrails. Shout out to Odin.
It's just bait, man. It's just bait. Don't go into the Gold Fury pit.
Yeah, at this point, without that kind of war coverage to suggest that, and considering that, look at the ward, though it's not there anymore, it's actually been replaced by a TSM-skinned Dexterity Sentry ward. There was a ward sat there that called out Lit, which allowed Fuzzington to turn around and just reach out and touch someone through the wall and grab Min. So, I want to see if Dexterity will take a lesson from that, maybe, and figure out, hey, they have some ward coverage around these objectives, and start warding a lot heavier than they are right now. We are seeing the double sentry coming out on the Gold Fury, but as we get later and later into the game here, Fire Giant is going to start being contested, so they may want to start getting some wards up at those critical junctions around like the mid-harpies and whatnot.
4-man pressure right now from Losing Road going towards the Gold Fury pit. Gonna manage to back out there. But, importantly, Dexterity Gaming were the ones that actually got hooked in, and conveniently, it was the cooldown coming from Breastplate of Valor that kept that shield up to make sure that Lit could get out of there, immediately backflipping to safety with thanks to Godlash. So, they're doing really, really well, and this is where the Breastplate of Valor actually works incredibly well for him and the rest of the team.
Ooh, hang on. Is this going to be a repeat of what happened before? Losing Road are on the Gold Fury, well at least they're grouping up for it at least. Callie is finally going to be rotating over from solo lane along with the Hades, by engaging in the middle lane here. Yeah, nice use of the Unstable Vortex for over the ship, combining that with the Xbalanque Blind is going to get a nice bit of damage onto Red and Just Jack. But here comes the Get Cataclysm, nice knock-up on top of that, Uneric going to be forced to retreat, there's the Rapid triple knock-up. But there's the Yanis rotation come through, is going to kind of seal things off for now, unless someone else fancies going in.
Yeah, but keep your eyes on this one. There's a lot of ultimates down at this period of time, and look at... Is that Lit in the background? No, it's actually going to be Red 39 that has that such low health, but he's going to be super careful. So now they've got to wait for him to get back so that they can re-engage. He's still got his ultimate, and it's going to be crucial to the engage because Godlashes is down.
Hello. Losing Road. Once again, both of these teams want to get the Gold Fury really badly. Neither of these teams can secure it, because there's so much skirmishing going on. Nice use of the Shockwave there to do a little bit of damage, but that's just going to get healed up immediately there by Sylvanas.
It's the 5-man knock-up and the time buy, because now look at them coming back in here. They're going to get diving on towards Lit and kill him off immediately. No numbers isn't all that much better off, and now look at the ultimate from Unarity. He's able to keep himself alive. Look at where this Ao Kwong, though, is. He's sitting on top of his own sentry ward. They know that he is not spotted at any period of time towards this one. The Gold Fury's already to half health. Gonna have to re-engage here.
Booty. Just Jack wants this so badly. He's gonna look for it. He isn't gonna get the Fury. He might try and look for an execute here. He's gonna... Oh, the beads from the Callie! He's not able to get his target. Hestrix gets the revenge kill. Wow. That gamble... It just kind of fell apart in a massive way there. It would have been a lot better if Just Chat maybe could have stuck with the team there and got in as a unit. He may have been able to stop Fuzzington from zoning because of the Execute. Execute is really good against tanks, but in the end, unfortunately, that isn't going to pay off. He does not allow the Callie to get the target at the same time, so that's kind of a win. But still... Losing Road does get the Gold Fury out of the way, so looking at the golden XP chart, it goes straight back up in their favour here, right?
The problem that he's finding, significantly at this point in time, is that he cannot be anywhere near the front of his team in Farrakrieg. Because Farrakrieg just pokes so well. Hits an Unstable Vortex, cycles back out, hits an Unstable Vortex, and suddenly Just Jack can't do anything. He's forced to run away. There's nothing he can do. So that's the real problem with trying to group up and stick with it. Stick with the team, is that he has to stay away from that poke from Farrakreek. So he's got to keep his eyes on towards him. If he can assassinate him at any point, though, that'll swing things back in their favor.
Yeah, having that nice poke is going to give any assassin, really, pause for thought. Even Unarity is taking a decent bit of poke from their opposing opponents. You see things like the Neath Arrow, and to an extent the Bellona Scourge is not as much poke as, say, Janus can put out, but it's still enough to where Unarity has to be wary not to just go, I'm Kelly, I'm just going to jump in, hit 3, hit 4, and I've killed the entire enemy team. It does give you some food for thought when you're actually down in the trenches.
Yeah, so Losing Road secure up that Gold Fury at this point in time. It's 1-1 on the Gold Fury count. Gold, it's relatively even, but have a look at the XP. It's 3k, so it's just enough to be a little bit of something. But Godlash is actually 1 level up on his opponent. That's crucial. The big factor right now is that Just Jack is 3 levels down on Farrakreek.
Hades, though, getting the front of that rotation, which unfortunately didn't hit the mid. He knows he's dead, so he's going to pop the ult, maybe do enough poke to where if his teammates rotate around, they could try and pick up a kill. But unfortunately, that is not going to occur. Dexterity were too spread out there. And now Losing Road are going to be able to try and stop the pushes that were happening in both duo and solo, and start thumping the lanes back to the enemy towers as well. This game's been fairly stale in terms of ground control, apart from one tower in the mid lane here, Rank.
Yeah, nobody really opting to push down towers all that quickly right now. Carly is probably going to shove this one down. Her attack speed, she's just come online. She's got the item she needs. A Hasten Fatalis, she can glue to whatever the hell she wants. Chin Side, she does a lot of damage to Hades as well. He's got no protections at this point in time, remember. Keep that in the back of your mind. Finally, the Heart Ward Amulet is going to come through and be online for the side of Gep. But it's a little bit too little too late. They've already lost some of the major fights, and you got to start thinking in the back of your mind, was it the lack of that sovereignty?
Down comes the Bellona flag to try and protect herself, but Unarity is going to pick up her target. Down comes the Werweaver. Nice block there by Unarity is going to save Hestrix. And over in the mid lane, there's going to be a little bit of pressure on the tower here. They're not going to be able to grab it. Huntington is going to be popping the Rapid Stone to try and delay them grabbing Kespen. He's probably going to die here. He doesn't get executed. That was, unfortunately, second mistime execute there by Just Jack. But he is going to die nonetheless, so I suppose job done.
Yeah, job did get successfully done on the right-hand side of things as well. Carly will pick up that tower, so her job has been completed over on that lane as well. She blinked towards mid, trying to get there fast. They will get the stun off, but Lex already picked up one. Gab is still alive. Godlash, Unarity gets the reset from him. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade now in the mid lane as well. But I really fear for them if they do decide to jump back on Dexterity again.
Oh no! The Pillar of Agony forced out the beast, forced out destruction. That isn't her target, so Unarity isn't going to get the full heal, gets enough for 20%, and Lit has already burned the World Weaver, so Unarity's going to get out of there pretty much scot-free. And for now, that fight is going to wash. Losing Road getting the better side of that, because they did also push up 2 towers, giving them a nice chunk of gold. If we look at the chart right now, 7.8k XP, 5.5k gold. And now Gold Fury is going to be under contention. This Fury's been a lot more important in this game than the other ones we've seen today here, Rank. These teams are prioritizing it pretty heavily.
Yeah, it's really been the focus coming through from around the map. It's probably time to actually take a look as well as the player damage. Look at where Janus is right now, 20k. He is up to 20k on that player damage. No one else is above 15k. So he's 6k above the next guy. And that's just insane, the amount of damage that he's able to put out. Because he's a sort of a poke, he's able to burst, he's able to put a lot of damage across multiple people, and he's got the mobility. So he's doing a lot of damage, gives mobility as well. He's just so good. Just so good. Look at his opposite number, 9k the difference because he's an assassin type. He's not so much a mage.
Uh-oh, more argy-bargy than Gold Fury as it doesn't get taken, but this time the teams are going to be teeing off on Godlash. Losing Road are going to be looking to try and catch him, but there's the rollout. I should have seen the jet out. He's going to get away, but Hestrix is having none of it. No! Oh! I hear sodium is not good for a cat's diet, but Hestrix on Bastet is going to be extremely salty right now. That blink away by Godlash was so good. And Gold here, although, to be honest, Gold is definitely a good way to stop Salt. Actually, no it isn't. It looks like a re-engage here, Rank.
Yeah, Unarity actually got focused out towards the side of that, but immediately turned back around towards no numbers. Look at Unarity! Oh my god, that ultimate just tops him up. He's good. He never died off. And anything at all couldn't be done. Could not be done. Losing Road doing successful thing.
Huh. And okay, big time's the charm. Let's try for the Gold Fury, Losing Road says. And I think I get it now, I'm just gonna give up entirely. They have tried so hard, but at every turn Dexterity has said, no, you're going to fight us. They've been able to drive them back. Try again. Get driven back. And now they finally...
Is this gonna be the Fire Giant? Could this be the Fire Giant? They're gonna go for it right here. Verb, are you there? I believe we've lost Verb. Anyway, let's keep going on with this one. Look at the fight over towards the Fire Giant side of things. Unarity's incredibly low right now. Doesn't have the ultimate. Will just fall down finally to Just Jack, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Fire Giant is still aggroed. It's starting to get really, really low here as well. Just Jack won't get in there. Losing Road to pick up the Fire Giant. Now what can they get on the way out? Hestrix picks up Just Jack, but now can they actually escape from this one from the side of Losing Road? Not quite. So they're going to be killed off from Dexterity Gaming. It's going to be Godlash and Just Jack to find their way into the graves for the Trader, Unarity, and the Fire Giant.
Okay! Looks like apparently Stasis Mode said, well, my internet said, nay, you're not going to cast. I'm back, I think. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
You can hear me. Yay. Right. So, 29 minutes? 21? 22? 23? 24? Are we all good? Yeah, okay. We're good. Okay, we just synced up there. Apologies, folks. I have no idea what happened there. I think maybe the Fire Giant was angry at me, and...
I wouldn't blame it.
So, yeah. There we go. I'm back. But yes, that Fire Giant take by Losing Road is going to give him a nice little bonus. I thought that maybe Godlash was going to get lucky and try and steal it, but the health level was just too high to really assure that. And now Losing Road, with that 25% structure damage buff, are going to be looking to really bust down some doors.
Yeah, well, keep your eyes on towards that left-hand side of the map at this point in time, because that's where Losing Road seem to want to go with this Fire Giant. What structures, what wins can they get down at this point in time? Tower. That's the first thing to tick off the map, and straight onto the Phoenix or straight onto the other tower? Looks like it's going to be the tower.
Yep,
or Just Jack.
Just Jack. Yeah, or both apparently. Oh, the snipe from across the map, Barracks. Lighting up Lit 69. Losing Road jumps through the portal. Down comes the... Oh, the Pillar of Agony double wombo combo combination. Someone say this is Smash Brothers, because Kespenify just took out Red in the middle of a Pillar of Agony. Hades probably isn't too happy about that one. Godlash is, unfortunately, his engines are spluttering. Phoenix goes down. Are Losing Road going to go for the juggler, or just start cutting off the limbs?
Man, that was more of a happy feet play than any wombo combo coming out of anyone. Right there, Godlash is going to get hooked into the middle of the team. He hasn't got much of a health bar left. Neither does the Titan as it falls over. And I tell you what, look at Losing Road go so confident here in a quarterfinal. They're going to be moving on to the semi-final round to be one of the last 4 teams in the first EU Challenger Cup of this season.
Wow. That game was pretty... I wouldn't say it's back and forth. I would say that had a lot of fighting around the Gold Fury. I would say not necessarily unjustified. Dexterity have to answer if Losing Road are going to go forward as well. But what could they have really done there? Because Godlash and No Numbers were their front line, but every time they tried to go in, they just get bursted down by the poke coming out from Janus, the poke coming out from Chibalonke, the poke coming out from Bastet, more poke coming out from Sylvanas, and then Unarity just cleans up. I mean, I'm just trying to theory craft in my head, what could they have done differently here, Rank? Have you got any ideas?
Not a real huge deal. To be perfectly honest with you, like, I think Hades just, I mean, chat's calling him out right about now and just saying, hey, he's got no defense. He has no defense. He's got nothing. He went for a Spear of the Mages as his third item. You can't do that when your Geb has only got a Heartwood Amulet. You can't. You need the sovereignty, and you need to be sitting right next to the Geb to really get the most out of those sort of itemizations, and he wasn't for a large part of that. He had trouble clearing the waves out. Kali got very easily farmed. There was no ganks on that side of the map. That is just everything slapped together, one on top of the other, was just a huge build-up, and it just overflowed when they couldn't secure that Gold Fury the second time around.
Yes. And with that, I don't want to delay things any further. We got semi-finals coming up next. I'm going to go to the toilet now, and I imagine Rank's probably going to do some toiletries as well. But do you need a drink?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's head on out to our break. Let's not talk about any of those toilet habits right here. We'll be right back on the other side of this with your Challenger Cup semifinals coming all the way to you from Europe in week number 1.
I am the king of outros.